Hey everybody, this is Reyes with King's Custom Designs. I'd like to walk you through the process of making a simple plywood jig for engraving round regular items in bulk. Anything from like coasters to pot holders to ceramic jar lids. And it all starts with setting it up correctly in your laser engraving software. Let's begin.
So we're going to start with Lightburn software. Our first step is going to be to create a rectangle in the shape of our plywood jig. In this case, we are going to start with a 16-inch by 24-inch box. I'd like to unlock the ratio here, and we are going to change that to 24 inches and change the height to 16. That creates our outline. The next step is we're going to create a circle or a shape in the shape of our engraving blank. In this case, I'm going to create a 3-inch round outline, and we're going to adjust that perfectly up here. Now, we want to make sure we can make an even grid of this outline. So we're going to use the array option down here, and we're going to say we want, let's start with 5 columns and 3 rows. And we want to make sure that we have at least a 1 inch in between, just so we have some good area. And we have enough room, we can actually bump this up to 6 and 4. And as you can see, now we are going to be taking up 23 inches by 15 of the 24-inch by 16-inch plywood. So now we have all of our outlines laid out. We're going to select all of these, and we are going to go up here to Arrange, and we're going to group them. This allows us to move them all in one piece. And I'm now going with that selected. I'm also going to hold Shift, select the plywood jig outline, and we are going to center all of these perfectly in between that rectangle. So that part's done. And we just need to create our alignment lines so that we can place this jig correctly each time we want to use it. So I'm going to draw a line, and I'm going to start here and just draw it all the way across. It does not have to touch the other end, but it can if you want. Hit right click to close that out. We're going to do the same thing over here. And right click to close that out. Now I'm going to select these, and we're going to align those perfectly to the center of the rectangle. If you saw that, that did kind of move there. And we're going to select this one, select that. And now those vertical lines are perfectly centered in between. We'll select that one. Double check your settings up here. It's up to you how you want to actually do this. I like to do this as a line engraving. I just want the outlines cut out. And I'm going to drop my power down to, let's go with 40. I don't want to cut all the way through. I just want to burn the outline into the surface of the wood. Okay, so now that we have this all lined out the way we want it, we have our settings set to line. Our speed and power are the way we want it for the material we are going to engrave on. This will change depending on what you end up using as your jig material. Plastic and wood are pretty much the easiest ones. We're going to go ahead and send this to the laser engraver. We're going to cut this piece out, and then we'll proceed to the next steps.
So as you can see, we've laid out outlines for you to place your individual coaster blanks or your lids or whatever you want to engrave. We've also created an alignment line so that you can place this jig in your engraver correctly in the right spot. You're going to center your red dot at your crosshairs, and then you're going to run your laser engraver across it to make sure that it's still tracking on that line. You're going to bring it back to the center point and do your vertical alignment. Once that is complete, you are ready to start your actual engraving on your product.
All right, so we've designed our jig on light burn. We've sent it to the laser engraver to create this jig. Now we are ready to actually turn this into a digital template so we can start laying out our designs appropriately. So the first step is going to be, now that we've got this all designed out and created, we are going to go select everything. We're going to ungroup it all. And then we're going to select the circles again because we grouped those separately. We're going to ungroup that as well. And then we're going to turn off this particular layer. Now the fun part. We go in and we're going to import a design. It doesn't matter really what it is. I've got a bear here. Kind of cool looking little bear. So we are going to shrink this guy, and we're going to go, because this is a 3-inch circle, let's go 2.5 by 2.5. So now I'm going to, you have a couple options. You can copy and paste it. Control C and Control V are your friends, and wherever you place it, it will go. And so it's just a simple matter of selecting this guy and selecting your circle. And we're going to center horizontal and vertical, each one. And we're just going to do that real quick throughout the rest of this. So we have placed the designs where we want them, and as you can see up here, we have a completely different layer that is turned on. The previous one is turned off. Make sure your setting is correct per your blank. If you're doing slate or wood, double check your settings to make sure that it's this is correct, as well as your DPI. You want to make sure that's all correct as well. Nope, I tend to go with 150 to 200 DPIs, and settings according to the blanks. So this is ready to go. We can send this to the laser engraver after we've placed our coasters where they need to go on the physical blank.
So we've not only shown you how to design a jig on Lightburn, create the physical jig, we also showed you how to lay it out with a singular design and mass produce efficiently multiple products based on that design. The next video we show you is actually going to get more in depth on creating a jig for more irregular items with a singular design but different diameters. Stay tuned.